Boom, baby, boom. Rise and shine. It's your morning motivation time. And this morning, I actually scored some motivation. You don't even know how hard it is to get some weed and turkey, but your boy sourced it. Everybody was like, "My channel's broke. My channel's broke." I was like, "You mean your dealer doesn't is asleep? What you talking about, Willis?" And it turned out your boy said, I had a conversation with him. I said, check it out. I gets the weed. You know what I mean? So, a little bit of nugget, a little bit of tobacco. You cut it up. You get the gravity bong. This is how we smoke here in Turkey. I'm gonna have a smoke here in a minute, but I wanted to have a conversation about men's mental health. I just got off the phone with my cousin, and he was up last night. The other night, he was calling me at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I was having insomnia, and now I was calling him at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning in New Orleans, and he was having insomnia, and he was talking about getting back on his depression meds. And I said, that's nothing else. That's what my show's about. You know what I mean? I had insomnia because my ex had emailed me and kind of fucked with my chi. And then now he's having it. And he can't even sleep. And he's supposed to go to work today and all sorts of shit like that. And I'm fucking hair somewhere on my face and feel it. Everybody wants to have a beard till it gets all over the place. Anyway, um, it's one of those things that it's imperative. It's imperative for men to have some kind of mental health. And I'm saying this because it saves the women too. It's part of a circle of influence, right? When we have happy women, women that are healthy, women that are smiling, they look so much more appealing to us. They lighten a whole room up. And then you'll have men that are angry. And we talked about this because my buddy had broken his wrist. And I said, "What happened?" He said, "My mom punched me." And I was like, "What?" And he said, "So I can't punch my mom." I turned around and I punched the wall. And I was like, "Whoa, bro, we need to have a conversation about anger." See, I lost my child over anger, and everybody got serious, And I'm saying this to people that speak Turkish, but I said I had to learn about my anger. I had to learn about self control. And my buddy posted it the other day. He said, "I'm working on my self control, my self care, and my self love." And I hear that constantly from women. I just want to love myself. And usually it has something to do with spending too much money on a purse or something. But for us to be able to get regular workouts, regular sleep, and a healthy diet, a regular diet, it can transform any human being's, man or woman's, mentality. Now, is this something that we always do? No. There's insomnia, there's depression, there's all sorts of things that affect the human psyche. And I constantly have to talk to my friend. I got a friend, my girl Bella. She's always like feeling lonely, wanting to be in relationships, but she doesn't want to give up her cigarettes and she doesn't want to give up her drinking. Some of these things we self-inflict upon ourselves. Some of these things are like, I'd be at like, "Oh, you feel depressed today?" I'm like, "But did you go for a walk?" And everybody would be like, "No." And then I go back to the old, what's the quote from your boy Jim Carrey, where he said, "Yes, I believe in depression, but I also believe in workouts and diets and stuff like that." So it is literally a war of chemicals in our brain to fight against the things that are making us feel insane. And yeah, I'm the rapping motivational rapper, so I always make it rhyme, but it's just the way my brain works, or maybe I listen to too much hip hop. Anyway, this is my show. But in my show, I wanted people to get healthy. I told my cousin, "Call me." And sometimes I'll call my friends and they're like, "Yo, I was crying earlier." And I'm like, "Well, I'm glad I'm talking to you now." You know what I mean? I'm so glad I reached out, talking to my other friend. He lost his wife, and he's lonely. And I'm like, I'm going to start calling you more often. Us as men, we need to mimic women. Women are great at this. They're great at reading vibes. They're horrible at getting themselves out of vibes and emotional distress, but they also are great at reading the human condition faster. And that's something that we don't get to dawn into ourselves. It's like, sure, you're up at 4 or 5 a.m. and you're sitting there smoking your pen and watching the TV all horizontally, but you could get up and go for that walk. He's like, "Oh man, I want to wake up my son, but that will fuck up his sleep pattern." And then you're fucking up another men's health. And that's what I'm talking about, is reaching into our wheelhouse of solutions, trying to figure out a solution of what really works. And I study this stuff, man. I'm not just going to flex my psych degree. I kept studying and learning about psychology and things that actually work. And I'm not talking about no puffer shit. I'm not talking about no hippie shit. I'm not talking about chakras and crystals and fractals and all that other shit. I'm talking about shit that really works. And people be like, "Oh, Mark, man, I saw photos of you. You're so buff and shit." And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "But I need you to lose this." And I'm like, "Man, I needed to get this. Like more than you think about my muscles or what kind of shape I'm in. It's the shape of my mind. If I can keep my mind in the game, I can do anything, and so can you. And that's one of those things where it's like a clear mind has a clear canvas to create things, and in a mind that's cluttered tends to be destructive. And that's all I was saying with Saints Addiction was I was like, I wasn't trying to be destructive anymore. I wanted to create family, I wanted to create love, I wanted to create abundance, I wanted to create more adventure, I wanted to create excitement and fun. And my poor buddy, he was just stuck like that, and I'm just like, bro, you're no fun. Like, you got to learn the psychology of a woman. As long as she's having fun, she's emotional. She can. Women are horrible to follow because they'll follow their emotions. They'll just be like, "This is fun. Let's go do it. We're on a yacht with a bunch of dudes," and it's like, yeah, but those dudes want to do things that you might not want to do. Not what I was thinking, but exactly what you're doing. And that's what ends up happening is like, we got to watch what we're doing. You know what I mean? What we're actually doing. Are we actively sleeping? Are we actively working out? Are we actively dieting? And if not, usually we're self medicating. I was at the bar last night hanging out with the DJs, whatever, whatever. But a lot of self medicating. And it was quick dopamines. It was the cigarettes. It was the alcohol. It was just the things to just go, yeah, I know I'm smoking a cigarette and it's going to kill me. And I'm looking for the pack of cigarettes. And I know it's going to burn my foot off or make my throat look like this. But all I wanted was a quick fix. As long as I feel good right now, it don't matter what that picture says. I just need to feel a little bit of dopamine. Just come on back. Let me get a little bit of dopamine. Let me watch another video. Let me masturbate again. Let me get a little bit of beer. And they're all synthetic dopamines. That's the only reason why they work. It's the only reason why we keep going back to them. It's been years of evolution of us figuring out things. What, 5,000 years since the Egyptians buried themselves with some beers? You know what I mean? Like you really got to say this is important to me if you put it in a pyramid. You know what I mean? So it's weird to me that we don't let ourselves fix ourselves differently. We tend to just go back to the same thing our parents did. I know my dad was a drinker. I'm thank God that I'm not a drinker, and I'm thank God that he quit drinking. But it's one of those things where you will instantly almost start drinking with your parents. You know what I'm saying? Like, it worked for them. You have their DNA, and now all of a sudden, that's the way you heal yourself. And that's something that's really important. Is like how we heal ourselves. Do we jump into someone else's bed? Are we always scared to be alone? So my friend Bella was doing. She kind of can't wait to get in these dysfunctional ass relationships with these dudes because she feels so lonely. Going back to them, throwing rocks at their windows because they're in the apartment with another girl, or I can't go to this job because he's got his girlfriend there, or whatever other weird shit. Oh, I wanted to be with this bartender, but he's a player, and I'm glad I didn't sleep with him. I'm just like, you're literally trying to find the solution through someone, but she can't see it that way. She can't see it that it's through her, and then it becomes a self-destructive pattern that ends up happening. And I'm like sitting here going, I wanted to end the destruction. I wanted to be in the creation. I'm not have to make a creation over destruction shirt just for mostly saints, but it's so true. I wanted to be a part of the solution, and part of my solution is this traveling. It's the way that I said mental healing, because this is the way that I heal myself. I wasn't feeling that my circle of influence of Las Vegas was really working. The more lonelier I got or more isolated I got, the less that I heard from other people. So I was like, let me go around the world where people actually do care about me, where they actually haven't seen me in a long time and they're grateful to see me, and they bring that energy to me, so therefore I can keep going on. We borrow energy, just like we borrow energy from the sun. The sun, millions of years, making the oil, plants, and everything. We use that energy still. Coal, petrol, you name it, solar. It's all of us using energy. So it's like everything that you touch, turning on the lights in the morning to the internet that's working, it's all energy, and your energy too. So it's like to keep good energy inside of you, inner me energy. I need to be able to feed it the things that it's going to be. If when I kept feeding myself ice cream, this wanted to grow out to here. Now, am I proud of this? Sure, I could suck it in and do all these other things, but no, man, I'm grateful that my mind isn't on this cake. My buddy brought me fucking cake this morning, and I'm like, yeah, no, bro, no sugar. Oh, it turned sideways. No sugar for me, bro. I'm good on all that. That's like you just busted out lines of cocaine in front of me. And to have that self-control started to give me my self-care, and then that started to give me my self-love. And then it was like, okay, man, maybe I don't need somebody in my life that's calling me names and getting all in my head and narcissistic patterns that reminded me of my mother and just all sorts of shit that didn't do me right. And my friend sent me a message. He said, find a real one. He actually sent me the meme with Conor McGregor's girl, but he's like, Conor, you can do this. You need a girl in your corner that's your cheerleader. You don't need somebody that's your scream leader. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need somebody that's going to be a detractor or somebody that says negative shit to you or gets all up in your head and makes you feel worse than you already do. And I know that's easy to say because people want to throw around the word toxic. We can be the toxic one too. I didn't see a gun to anyone's head at the club for them sucking down the cigarettes, but there they were. And it's part of the Turkish culture, you know what I mean? It's like something that they all do constantly. And my buddy's like, I don't know you smoke cigarettes. I'm like, I don't. I smoke weed, but you guys keep mixing our weed together with the fucking cigarettes to thin it out, and that's what I have to deal with. So I'm living in a world where I wanted to find a path to enlightenment, just like anyone else. I always thought I would shave my eyebrows, shave my beard, shave my head, climb the mountains of the Himalayas, go ask the guy with the long white beard, what is the meaning of life? And I would love to sit here and go, I'm so intelligent that I know I'm omnipotent and then like I got all the answers. That's not true. But what is true is that the energy that I give myself or the energy that I participate is the energy that's inside of me. And that's something that I really had to dawn in on. If I thought that by the quick fix of ice cream, that I was fixing the topic up here, maybe for the short term, but I wasn't fixing the topic down here in the long term. It just started to add on. And it's like, where did those calories come from? Well, it came from my depression. And that's something that I have to fight often. And it seems to go in with my cousin too. So I'm mentioning this topic today because it's part of it. It's part of our mental health that we sit in a wheelhouse that works for us versus these things that only shortly fix us. You get what I'm saying? It's like actually changing the tire or continuing to run on a flat tire. So it's the thing that I wanted to add air to and fix the topic and change the tire is to get to myself first. We were talking about taking care of yourself, self-care. It's not self-splurging. It's not buying things. It's not things that cover up what's inside. It's taking care of me when I don't want to even be taking care of myself. And that includes what's on my eyes? Oh, I got some boogers on my eyes. Yeah, still waking up, y'all. Still doing the morning motivation. But, that's me. I got to fucking do me, dude. And that's why I say do your own thing because my buddy's like, hey, you coming? I'm like, I got plans, man. You ain't even trying to get shirts. You ain't trying to go out every day, talk to 10 different people, get followers. You ain't trying to fucking grow your thing. I got laundry to do and I got shirts to make. I was actually going to go live and make the shirts, but he doesn't have his shirts. I only got one shirt to make right now. I got the iron, but everybody else hasn't showed up. And it's about showing up in your life. It's about showing up for yourself. And that's a real tough thing to do because most of the time we don't recognize that we are our own self-destruction. We are our own worst problem. And it was like, it's no surprise to me, I am my own worst enemy. And every now and then I kick the living shit out of me. Now, of course, we want to get away from the problems, but then we'll use the wrong solutions that increase our problems. One of the favorite quotes that I actually watched was she said, it didn't bother me till I quit drinking that it wasn't a solution for me. So it was like, of course it didn't bother you because you're numb. You don't see the problems grow. You don't see the challenges ahead of you because you're always numbing it. Only when you get sober is the first time that you get to be aware of what you're really doing to yourself and how unaware you were in the first place. It's a really weird place, but that's part of getting clean is being able to see with different eyes. And then your brain is flooded with fake dopamine or lies or cover-ups. And we'll be the type of person to harm ourselves even further without even knowing it. We won't even know that we're going down a dark path because we're so numb. We didn't even see ourselves go into that tunnel. And then all of a sudden, the only light at the end of the tunnel is the drugs that we were doing. And that's the definition of addiction, is trying to lean on something over and over again as if it's going to give you different results. And I'm over here talking about results. I really want results. I really want men to have some mental health. I really want human beings to have some connection. Hell, I even want women to have mental health too. That's why I don't fuck with my ex no more. I'm like, look, I'm not doing any good to this situation. I want you you to be happy and healthy and prosperous. And then that, and in turn, that makes it for me too. Just like my buddy was telling me last night, he's like, dogging your baby mama is like dogging yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're constantly getting to point the finger, but the fingers, one, two, three, and the thumb are pointing back at me. So it's really a man in the mirror moment. Not to just quote Michael Jackson or anything, but hold on. Self-consciousness. They say true knowledge is knowledge of self, and to be able to have some knowledge of yourself and go, okay, how do I operate this perfect thing, this human thing that regulates my heat and makes me drink water when I'm thirsty and walks all over the earth? This is a vessel. And how do you treat your vessel? How would you treat your boat? Would you scrape barnacles off, or would you keep them there and go slow? I want to be slippery, Odie. Slippery through the air, through the water, not with a lot of friction, not with a lot of drama, but for things that make me feel good inside. And when I'm around my friends that are all drinking and stuff, they're like, you don't drink. And they were trying to get me to drink last night. I'm like, no, bro, I ain't trying to fight my friends. And like, what you mean? I'm like, well, my other friend was drunk the other night and he tried to fight me. That's what I mean. Screaming, yelling, being angry. It's like I told my friend when he broke his hand, I said, dude, you got to get some self-control. I lost my child because I didn't have any self-control. I had to learn the hard way. I paid the ultimate price, my baby's life, so that I could learn this lesson. And it sucks because I kind of learned the lesson before she aborted my baby, but I also knew that it had to stop. The cycle of abuse from my father to my mother to my father, the way that they treated each other, the amount of love and hate, the swing, the bipolarity, the sheer destruction that it could cause, instead of this enlightenment, instead of this togetherness, instead of this safe zone. And that's what I'm trying to create, is a safe zone in my mind where I don't think someone's attacking me, I don't get angry, and I don't have to get triggered. And a lot of us, we're already off the gun. He said, my mom's the one that's got the temper too. She's the one that punched me in the first place. And I'm like, yeah, it sounds like a lot like it, but it also sounds like you're the one that could stop it. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm the first of the six. I'm the Francis Mark St. Arnaud the sixth. Is my chance to stop it, so I could have Francis Mark St. Arnaud the seventh, right? Like, to get an heir to the throne, I have to be able to have some self-control, and it wasn't going to just come from the air. It had to be something that I had to actually mentally and physically participate in, and it was something that was worth enough. Like, again, if you have a big enough W, I'm gonna have my hands up, a big enough W, a reason why to do something, then it'll get done. If you're always constantly in a state of cover up and makeup and pretending, eventually whatever you do in the dark comes out in the light. I'm trying to give people some of the light, that end of that tunnel, so they're not in that darkness anymore. But what it's going to work. Now, are they willing to help themselves to get out of it? I talked about it yesterday, digging the little slices out of your grave to create steps to step out of it. Sure, you can't jump 6 feet in the air, but you can start digging and giving yourself little leg holes, so that way you can start stepping out of that grave. And that's all it is. It's just like there's a lot of people I see unhappy, a lot of people that are in mental threat, and they're not in safety. And unfortunately, that seems to be the prevailing rage. We are forever. Now, the most times people have been on antidepressant, the most times there ever been suicide. I was watching one of the shows and they were saying this is supposed to be the best time to ever be alive, better than the bubonic plague, better than the dark ages. But for here, we got more money than we've ever had before. We got more options than we've ever had before. We're all doing what the fuck we want. And for some reason, skyrocketing suicide rates, skyrocketing depression rates, just all the people on the losing end of things. And we watch each other, only show each other the highlights of each other. So it's a filtered process of, like, Instagram was like, I'm super happy in this moment. And then the next moment, have you ever seen somebody take a selfie? And then they look at it and this right off their face, it's a frown. I watched one couple kind of try to hold each other's hand and shit, and then they separated and stared at their phones, and they weren't even touching afterwards. So I was like, that was weird. I'm like, is that his side bitch? I couldn't figure it out, but anyway, I was on the streets of Berlin anyway. I saw it happen, and I was just like, ooh, wow, what's that all about? But we can't lie. to what it's all about. We can't hide through what we really feel and who we really love and what we really do. So it's like if we really do the work, if we really do go for the walk in the morning or when even at night, fuck it. Whenever our mind is starting to take a race, it's time to take it for a walk. And that's what I was telling myself. I was telling my cousin, I was like, look, bro, there's solutions here. And it ain't just sitting there being horizontal, watching the fucking movie after movie, movie on your phone, movie on the big screen, movie everywhere. There's solutions out there. And he's like, I don't know if I should go to work today. Well, maybe getting away from the TV would work. Maybe getting off the phone would work. Maybe just some breathing exercises. My mom's still on my ass about it. 1, 2, 3, breathe, Mark. 1, 2, 3, breathe. And I do it over and over again. I also talk to myself out loud, like, don't give up, don't give up. I'd love to just get a couple girls to follow my Instagram and be done with the chase, but I got goals. So I say, don't give up. You got 2 more to go. You got 10. Now you got 8. Now you got 6. And it's almost like a workout when I'm just like, just 6 more. Yeah, you feel tired. Yeah, you're out of breath, but you know, just do that 6 that you owe it. You owe it to yourself. It's the 3rd rep. You only need 6 to do, and you're done. And that's it. All you have to do is go for the walk, and you're done, and that's it. And now you're out in the fresh air, and now you're sitting on the bench, and then you're watching the kids play, and all of a sudden your mind is in a different place without having to snort a line, without having to drink a beer, without having to self-destruct. All of a sudden you can switch it. I was watching the other guy do it, and he was saying something to the effect that even if he doesn't feel like going to the gym, he'll go into the gym and start playing on his phone. But after about a half hour playing on his phone and hearing the weights clink and the competitiveness in him, he might just start to touch the weights a little bit. Maybe just warm up. There, I was reading one rule that was like, do it just for 5 minutes. It'll probably keep you going. You'll say it's just for 5 minutes because you're tricking your brain. But now that you're in the game, now all of a sudden it's going to turn into 15 minutes, going to turn into 30 minutes, and then you actually get the task done. So it's one of those things to trick our brains to say, just do it for 5 minutes. Just put on your shoes, just brush your teeth, just take a shower, get out of the house. Sometimes it just takes that. It's like, go take a shower, go brush your teeth. Basics just to get yourself out into the sun, motivated enough to move. That's what I've been talking about. Motivation is to motivate yourself enough to move yourself out of the situation that you're in. So it's a lot of hopping not out of the frying pan and into the fire, but hopping out of the frying pan and out to the counter, bro. Because that's what we need to do. We need to cool the fuck off. Cooler heads need to prevail. We don't need to be smashing our hands. Because I told him, I said, look, man, you know about Buddha? He's like, yeah. And I was like, Buddha believes, or they say, that you will be taught by your anger. And I'm like, the only one that you hurt was your own wrist. And his doctor's telling him, if you do that again, you'll be like this for the rest of your life. Like, we literally destroy ourselves. We rip our minds apart. And it sucks because there could be filled with so much love to heal the gaps between the brain. There's so much life to live to heal the wounds that we've encountered, and there's so much of us to live in our lives to be able to make ourselves better human beings. And that's all I wanted out of this whole thing. Is the betterment of myself. Do I still have my halo? Do I still have my horns on my halo? Yes, I do. I'm not a perfect human being. No one is perfect. That's our motto over here at Saints Addiction, is keeping it real. But it's also one of those things, is like, did I give any effort to get perfect? Did I give any effort to get better? Is there any effort on my part as a decision under self-control to make this thing work for me instead of against me? And that's the biggest thing of it all. So yeah, breathing, check. Traveling, check. Walking, check. Drinking water, check. Regular exercise, regular diet, check. And I'm not trying to get it from that fucking sugar that's staring out of my corner on the shelf right there, that little slice of cake. That ain't gonna do it. Maybe that little bit of weed over there, that's going to make me high for a hot minute. That's my relief and release. It's way better than what I was trying to drink. And I'm like, I didn't spend any money on drinks, but I spent 400 lira on a gram of weed, and I'm almost out of it. So it's like, this is my drug of choice. It's the way that I can relieve my brain. We did it at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I was like, shit, I need to lay down. I got some of the best sleeping dreams of my life. So I'm looking for escape, but not as an emergency escape, but as an exit out of this dark door of regret
and anxiety and depression, and entering into a door of light where it's creative and I feel abundant and I feel love. And that's where I think we're all looking for. So I've heard it before that, like doing heroin was like getting a hug. Maybe that's all we fucking need sometimes. That's what it comes down to. Sometimes we just need a hug. Sometimes we need physical touch. Sometimes we need a walk. I don't know what it is for you because everyone's different, but these things work for all of us. And that's why I was like putting it out there, talking about the healing, men's mental healing, because it helps. When I'm in a good mood, they're in a good mood. You know what I mean? When I'm in a bad mood, guess who's going to destroy everybody else's mood? And I didn't want to be that guy. I didn't want to be the guy that was adding to the problems. I wanted to be the guy that was adding to the solutions. And that's what I was explaining to my friend. It's like after an anger fit, what I didn't see after I Hulk smashed everything is not only did I destroy everything, but my friends looked at me differently. They were like, okay, Mark's not as balanced as you were. Look at him. You go, go, go. Yeah, ticket, ticket, ticket. Yeah, Allah, 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 Allah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, ticket, ticket. I need a ticket. So yeah, man, we're gonna smoke real quick. Real quick, I want to smoke on the show.
Okay.
One ticket, please. But yeah, that was the whole point. Is that we weren't helping ourselves, and that's what I started to realize. I was like, oh shit, I'm the detriment to me, and if I wanted to be a part of something that isn't scary to my friends or scare them off, and then they feel like what we don't know is that now they don't respect us and they don't trust us. And that's the huge thing out there that you ain't buying on the shelf. You can't buy trust. Once it's gone forever. And like with my ex, it's gone forever. No trust, no love. And that's what's ended up happening. And I was like looking at it, it's like I thought that I had beat my opponent and that they had the ass whooping coming. But what I didn't see was my friends losing respect for me and not trusting me anymore. And that's something that I can't get over and can't get back. And I'm unfortunately that's what I had to fucking relearn, was that I had to get my mind right. I had to become a better person, a better version of myself, so my friends can love me and trust me and count on me, that I'll be there for them. When the times get tough, we want to see who gets tougher. Love you too, bro. And it's one of those situations that I wasn't even realizing. You know what I mean? I wasn't keying in on what was happening. I was only seeing what my anger would allow me to see, and the blinders and the vision was broken by things that I didn't really understand. And that's something that I had to figure out with myself, was that I needed to understand me. I needed to be more free. I need to close the screen so we can smoke. And then, yeah, you're gonna watch me do a gravity bong rip right now, bro. Yeah, bro. One way ticket. Get my life right, get my mind right, and that's what this whole show's about. So next time you are in your life, in your mind, remember that there's a better thing to do, and it's a better thing to do on time, and that's what we're here. We're getting ourselves way better. We're getting our morning motivation on. We're gonna fucking get our lives right, our minds right. Yes, blessed. Get it together. Start up the one-way ticket.
Strong.
Yeah, bro. We'll make a strong one. Get this going. Now you're seeing a gravity bong rip. Look at that. Allah, 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 Allah. We're getting it going. Your boy Saint's got a one-way ticket to Highville. And let's go, bro.
Let's go. Start life.
Instant relief. Start life, yeah. So let's start living our lives better. Let's do better by ourselves and make better our people around us. It's going to make everyone trust us more, love us more, and bring more of that abundance our way. So that's this morning's motivation. You got anything out of this, do like, share, and subscribe below. It's not easy to get mental health. It's something that we all going to need. And to be the most healthy version of ourselves in the future, we got to do right by ourselves in the now. And that's just part of it. So add walking to your regiment, add water to your regimen, add some kind of self-control and self-care to yourself so you can get some self-love. And the moment you start self-loving yourself is the moment that you get relief from these depression thoughts, and relief from the insomnia, and relief from all the funky ass shit that been happening in our lives. It's going to continue to happen as long as we don't help ourselves. And that's what I was trying to figure out. I got to help me, and I'm trying to help others by helping myself. So this is just something something that I've learned. I talk with my friends, and I'm always kind of constantly trying to figure out a solution in the end. And that's what this is all about, solutions. So go be the solution in your life instead of the destructor in your life. Go be the person that can create opportunity for yourself instead of saying, oh, it's not coming to me. You can make it come to yourself. Yes, blessed. I'll see you guys on the other side. We're getting our fucking one-way ticket the fuck out of here. And yes, blessed. Morning motivation, baby.
Boom.
Boom, baby. Boom. Yes. Blessed. I'll see you guys on the other side. And as always, Chigathon. That means goodbye, but not forever in Phoenix. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe. Boom, baby.
Boom.
Boom. See you guys. Peace.